afternoon, everybody. I'm not even sure at this point. There we go. We're live. Yeah. David here in Montreal. That is my friend Miguel down in Florida, where amazing, as you know, we're just talking is about to hit the east coast of Florida. But I think that there's a bigger storm about to hit the United States very soon. And that'll be tomorrow, called the midterm elections. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have been under a rock, you have absolutely known how contentious, how remarkably dumb, how absolutely moronic this entire election has been. The United States, once again, has shown the entire world the biggest joke when it comes up to democracy. But for a variety of reasons, not the standard AOC versions. But let me pass the puck over to you, buddy. Tomorrow.
Thank you.
Tomorrow night.
Yep. David, you know what starts tomorrow morning, as you said, is the 2022 midterm elections. Now, there's been a lot of fanfare and a lot of news all about this. And I'm sure wherever you live, you know there's a referendum on Joe Biden and there's a referendum on Donald Trump. Well, at least that's the way they're making it sound. And there's a referendum. Let's add another one on abortion. Let's add another one is on crime, gas, inflation. I mean, everyone is pulling at straws to tell you what this election's all about. Remember, the words I use is they're telling you what this election's all about. Like the continuance of having freedom and being in a democratic society. If you would listen to our current president or Hillary Clinton, she's the other presidential candidate who had a server, classified information, and had the election stolen from her. But let's not rehash the past because, frankly, I'm being disingenuous. She's a loser. She lost. And frankly, she needs to disappear into the political landscape because you know what? I just can't believe she had the nerve to come back out and tout the election was stolen from her again. Your freedom is at stake. That's why you have a vote. You need to take advantage of your electoral right. People died. People bled. People went to war and lost their mothers, fathers, sisters, brothers in this, right? So if you don't go and vote, it's shame on you. The Republicans were always against mail-in ballots, but that tide has changed. Now mail-in ballots are openly accepted everywhere. But now the Democrats that pushed for it, the Republicans that were against it, the Democrats are now starting to try and find reasons why they're planning to lose. One, they're going to blame that there was corruption in the mail-in ballot process. They have forgotten to tell you that the election turnouts in the areas where the Republicans put in new election laws, where they would be oppressed, have the highest turnouts in history, right? So again, the mail-in ballot that was a demand of the Democrats may end up being weaponized by the Republicans because Republicans are actually going to vote in that method or have been in that method. And we know this by what's coming in Georgia. Now, Georgians should be more angry with the Democrats and the MLB than any other individual because the Democrats convinced the MLB to pull the World Series. Crazy. The anti-American
All-Star game.
All-Star
Not the
All-Star game. My apologies, guys. I'm not a sports guy. We all know this. But the All-Star game was pulled, and hundreds of millions of dollars that would go to small businesses, workers in the stadium, right? And by the way, I want to sort of add, the average race working in the stadium isn't white, is black. And so we robbed them of making any additional money that they would have because the voting laws were unconstitutional.
Jim Crow, no?
That it was restricting black voters from getting the highest turnout ever. 28% which is better than 23% in any previous election. 5% more got to vote. David, they're looking for the reason why they're going to be a band of losers. You know, when Hillary Clinton called all Republicans names, right? And then Biden followed it up by calling all Republicans names. It turns out that the name calling and accusations by the Democrats is just starting. And I believe by end of election night, the Republicans will have taken the House and the Congress by a number that the Democrats can never accept. And they're already filing lawsuits in any area that the Republicans have won. Yes, the Dems are blaming the world, not themselves. David, I could not have characterized that better. They're blaming Putin. They're blaming Xi Jinping. They're blaming the Germans. They're blaming the English. They're blaming the Africans. There's nobody that they're not blaming. It's kind of like global warming. I really believe this. Let's everyone in the United States, Canada, and Germany, England, France pay while India, Pakistan, and China don't. Listen, global warming is global. Just like politics, there's a wave coming. Everyone's sick and tired of this communist wave. The Democrats are representing a socialist agenda reminiscent of the Hitler's party, the Democratic German Party, Workers' Party, actually. David, you know, when the Democrats call the Republicans Nazis, racists, you know what? How many Democrats are racist? David, I am flabbergasted by how many anti Israel Democrats are in power that sit in Congress, the House, the AOCs, the anti Semitic remarks from that Cortez bitch. Oh my God, if you're in New York, you're in AOC's territory, you must vote all Democrats out. And I hope for the first time since the 80s, a Republican takes the governorship of New York. Because you know what? I won't go to New York. I won't go to Wall Street. I'm afraid I'm going to get mugged, robbed, or killed. I won't go in a subway system. I won't let my family go to New York to go in a subway system. David, they're throwing women and children into the tracks. And you know what's happening to them? Nothing. Guys, the Democrats are blaming the Republicans. Why? Because we are going to rip democracy from your hands. I think they're using the word democracy and democratic instead of using socialists, communists, and fascists. Because frankly, that's the context of what the new Democratic Party is. It's not the old Democratic Party. David, I ranted for double the amount of time and you've been silent. Why?
I've been silent because I'm just listening in onto an American's perspective. And I'm going to tell you something. Listening to Stacey Abrams already blaming her loss on Jim Crow laws V2, like you said, is vile. When I'm seeing,
hang on. Jim Crow laws. Biden was at the eulogy of the Klan. Biden is the biggest racist in the House.
Stuart. To me, I'm listening to when I hear Obama having to go out and having to beg people to vote. You know, the amazing thing that you're hearing is the Democrats are already looking for where they're going to lose. And there are two areas that keep coming up. And it's fascinating, the two demographics. One is Latino voters. The Latinos are absolutely fed up of being taken advantage of. And already the Dems are starting to go, how could Latinos abandon the Democratic Party? We are your party. And they're blaming already Latinos for losing in those heavily Hispanic populations. But my second favorite one, Stuart, you get this? Suburban women. Suburban women, according to the polls, up to 20% shift to the Republican, to the GOP. So already you have people blaming them. You have people like the Democrats are blaming everybody for their loss. But look at the mirror. Look in the mirror, Democrats, and ask yourself why. It's because you are deniers. You're deniers of reality. You blame the GOP by saying there is no crime, but the most crime-ridden cities are Democrat-run cities. People are fed up. People are fed up of you going to chase. Hold on, Stuart. Hold on. I let you go for 8 freaking minutes. Shah. When you look at you posted Oprah Winfrey, and she goes out and supports Fetterman instead of Oz.
Insane. Insane.
Oz is now a lunatic who's a Republican, and we have to bring in John Fetterman, who, for frankly, has no physical or mental ability right now to govern. But that's okay. Let's blame. You're not looking in the mirror. When you hear on the liberal media, Stuart, and again, that CNN, MSNBC is already saying, we got to pivot for 2024. We got to find a way to win it back. They've conceded, but they've conceded that the losses were based on what? Republican lies. Because
you know what, David? When they say the rich must pay, Oprah Winfrey must pay.
Stuart, they're calling
her net worth is $2.5 billion.
The Democrats, Stuart, I love when you pick on people, but listen to forget about Oprah. The Democrats are blaming corporate greed for inflation.
Right. That's why I put Oprah out there. She's one of the biggest corporate greedists in all of Tinseltown. She is a show host. You know, when she decided to back away from supporting Clinton versus Obama, my late mother, canceled her subscription to her magazine because my mother was so opposed to Oprah abandoning her women's lib ballot for
Stuart,
Obama.
It's all about Stuart. It was all. Listen, Stuart. You know what? It's fascinating to watch revisionist history, because the Democrats love to blame. They love to say what they were doing. Look at what just happened this weekend. How many lies did Joe Biden spin this weekend? Okay, he's taking credit for bringing.
We only got 15 minutes. We only got 2 minutes left.
No, but like I'm saying, is like in just this weekend alone, he talked about how he spent more time with Chinese leader Xi, how he brought down gas prices below a $5 a gallon, all the things that he did, that he grew up in
natural gas 190%, natural gas 190%, regular gas 120%.
What he said that he grew up in a Hispanic neighborhood, all the lies, and not a sing. And again, it's okay for him to lie, not to be fact checked, and for him to spin the propaganda machine to garner votes. Again, we said last week, what the Democrats are going to finally wake up after realizing is that people care about food on the table. People care about money in their pocket. People do care about crime and immigration, and abortion is important. But when you throw and I heard this crazy statistic, that it's the highest percentage of commercials in the Democratic run campaigns are based on abortion. You know what? The blame should be with your strategists. You should blame your strategists and the fact that you went on an insult mission rather than campaign on real issues.
David, bottom line is, if a teacher went to teach and didn't have a syllabus, they would be the Democratic Party. They're going at this without a mission statement that the people that voted them in want. They're trying to tell the people your issue should be abortion. It shouldn't be crime. Your issue should be abortion. It should not be your bank account. It should not be inflation. I gotta tell you, at the end of the day, the people's house will return to the people, and there will be an end to this anarchy. That's all I can say.
Stuart, I'm going to tell you something. Let's see what happens tomorrow. But message to everybody who's listening, please go out and vote. Your vote does matter. Really, what you said at the beginning, Stuart, about people dying, on Friday is Remembrance Day in both of our respective countries.
Yep,
And
November 11th.
the people who fought for our freedom should be honored by at the very least for us to vote. Don't point the fingers at the people who said, who are the idiots who voted this in? This is on all of you. You Americans need to go out and vote. I can't. You can. You need to do it and get the people that you believe that are going to be the proper representation of your beliefs, needs in power.
Before you finish, David, I could rest assured I'm not voting any Democrat in.
You and Elon Musk. Ladies and gentlemen, on that note, wishing you all a great week. We'll see you on Wednesday when we probably will be dissecting the post-election.
Hey, maybe not. We don't know. Guys, out of here.